Motion 2. Councillor Bradley, please would you introduce your motion? You have 7 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm introducing this motion, which aims to see the main West Midlands rail services through Solihull reverse the pandemic-era schedule cuts, especially in relation to the evening services due to the impact on the nighttime economy. Public transportation is something I view to be incredibly important. In modern, interconnected economies and cities, the ability for people to move around freely, quickly and easily is essential for the prosperity of our locality and our residents. The economic and social benefits of a well-connected rail system are huge compared to other transport systems. For businesses, it increases both the size of their labour market and the potential size of their customer base. For people, it increases the options of where they can live and work and where they can spend their time and money. We in Solihull are very fortunate for the level of rail routes running through our borough, from the line through Berkswell to the east, Shirley to the west, and of course the line through my own ward of Alton, and to the town centre, Widney Manor and Dorridge. We are well connected locally within our borough, as well as to Birmingham, Warwick, Stratford and beyond. There can be no doubt that these transport infrastructure links have been a vital feature in the prosperity of our borough, both past and present. However, we are not as well connected as we used to be. Before the pandemic, the routes through my ward and town centre, as well as through Shirley, were served by 3 trains per hour. Now, despite rising populations, we're served by just 2 trains per hour. After 8 PM, it drops even further to 1 train an hour. Post-pandemic, we often heard talk of a new normal with more remote working, but more and more businesses are now adapting at least hybrid working, if not a full return to offices. Rail ridership is rising nearly back to pre-pandemic levels. Despite that, we have fewer services that I understand often run with less carriages as well. Even aside from capacity, consider just the impact on flexibility. With 20 minutes between services, unless you just missed a train, then chances are you're about 10 minutes from the next one. Today, just missing 1 train and the next being cancelled can see you stuck waiting a whole hour. I really don't see how, as time goes by and we expect society to progress, we end up with a train service schedule for our borough that offers less today than it did in the recent past. Hence why my motion calls for restoring the capacity and frequency of the 2019 and prior schedules. My motion specifically, though, mentions the evening services for a reason. We often hear about the difficulties that the nighttime economy faces, whether in levels of taxation or increases in costs, but the ease with which customers can get to our town and city centres is also a big part of the picture. Taxis, especially those with surge pricing, can be very expensive to use, and for people enjoying the pub or a bar, they probably won't be driving themselves either. Reliable and dependable public transport is essential. In the evenings, the reduced schedule compounds further, though. Before the pandemic, after 8 PM, West Midlands Railway serves the Solihull and Shirley lines, each with 2 trains per hour, down from 3 through the day. They now serve them with only a single hourly service, and in fact for Alton and Widney Manor the effect is even more dramatic. Previously, the Chiltern services called at both stations after 9 PM, which means they actually retain 3 trains an hour. This is gone, and they have gone from 3 trains an hour to 1 train an hour. In the late evening, short waits for the train services are gone. A trip to the cinema or a concert in the city centre that finishes just a few minutes later than hoped can leave someone waiting nearly a full hour for their train home when 6 years ago they could have been waiting 20 minutes. Or what of the London commuter, leaving Marylebone Station at 6 PM, finding their train running only slightly late, but then missing their connection to Widney Manor, leaving them stuck at Dorridge for an hour. And for the very unlucky moments when you have shortly missed 1 train and the next is cancelled, you can be left with a 2-hour wait to get home. These are not minor inconveniences. These are regular occurrences that are materially affecting our residents. People will be either waiting much longer for trains or choosing not to travel at all to avoid the hassle. And if people choose not to travel, then the businesses they decided not to go out to will suffer through lost custom as well, through no fault of their own. Imagine how much better supported our nighttime economy could be if we had the same level of connectivity as we did back in 2019, where residents in our wards didn't have to plan their entire evening around when they would need to be back at the station and could rely on regular, frequent evening services, spending their time instead focused on where they would like to go out and enjoy themselves. Ultimately, this motion isn't asking for much. It is just asking for West Midlands Railway to operate the same service frequency they operated before, if not through the entire day, then at least in the evenings. I'm a supporter of rail nationalisation, and with West Midlands Railway coming into public control this Sunday just gone, this feels like the opportune time to bring this motion. I have some doubts over a lack of vision from the Labour government over what benefits nationalisation could bring. It's not a silver bullet on its own, but here are some real tangible benefits that they could implement that will deliver for residents and businesses of Solihull and further afield too. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bradley. Is there a seconder to the motion? Councillor Thomas. Do you wish to reserve your right to speak?
Please.
Thank you. To the motion. Councillor Thomas. Do you wish to reserve your right to speak?
Please.
Thank you. Members, do you wish to debate the motion or refer it on? Councillor Hawkins.
Madam Mayor, I have an amendment which I think James is going to pass round. I'll give it a minute and then I'll speak.